Welcome to the Bruins Benders Podcast, Season 4, Episode 32. Dude, where's our coach with Maddie and Smitty, brought to you on the Inside the Rink Podcast Network at InsideTheRink.com. In this episode, we will discuss Rick Tocchet, Joe Quenneville off the list. Who will be the next coach of the Boston Bruins? Would you trade down if teams with multiple first-round picks called? And can the Bruins afford to pursue an RFA and extend an offer sheet? All that and more on this episode. Hit subscribe on the Inside the Rinks YouTube channel. Also hit the little thumbs up for us, and follow us on social media at Bruins Benders, and sign up for Bruins Benders off-air content through ITR Plus and the premium subscription service, a low monthly fee to see all of the great content from myself and Smitty. And here we are. With the Florida Panthers just one win and a couple more games from Marchand away from giving the Boston Bruins a first-round pick.
Yeah, that's what we're rooting for, right? We're rooting for the first-round pick. You know, I know people don't like to root for Florida, but in this case, it really behooves you to root for the Panthers. And, I mean, isn't it a little funny, a little glorious, a little awesome to watch the Leafs just implode again and again and again?
It's really something else now. It really is.
It's. Do you feel bad for them at all, or not really?
No, I have no emotional attachment to them, so no. But I will say this though: the last two seasons, that last year and this year, I really thought they had legitimate chances to get at least deep. And specifically this year, I think they're the most talented team. I think that they should win this series and the next. I really had them in the Stanley Cup Finals, and finally, and I thought they added some pieces that would help. And they go up 2-0 on the Panthers, and you think, boy, and then they're ahead in that game 3, and you think, boy, they might sweep the Panthers. And then they lose a couple, and then they get trounced at home.
Yes, they did.
Game 5, and that is it's just inexcusable.
It really is. It really, really is inexcusable. And you're running out of excuses to make for that core group, that core four. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. You know, does Marner stay there? There's been some rumblings that maybe he's going to be on the move. Does John Tavares re-sign there? I know he's got his Maple Leafs feety pajamas. But is he going to re-sign there, and try to win the thing in Toronto? You know, his childhood favorite team. It's going to be interesting to see what they do, because it seems like right now they have all the pieces put together. You know, they have a pretty good defense. They're a little bit tougher than they have been. You know, obviously they have really good forward depth and offense with Nyes and Nylander and Marner and Matthews, and you know, they have, it seems, all the pieces, and they just can't win. So, you know, is that it's like a curse thing almost now, like a Red Sox type of deal where they're going to have to go down 3-0 in a series and come back and beat a team like the Bruins did, you know, to the Leafs themselves, or you know, something along those lines. It's going to take kind of a monumental effort to kind of change the vibe there. And get them actually believing that they can win, no matter what the series says or what the what the scoreboard says. In order for them to get over the hump.
Yeah, it's got to be like Red Sox in 04, or like the Cubs when Rajay Davis hits that home run, and you think, oh my God, they're gonna blow it. It's got to be something that gets them over the hump. They got to just pull the win out of the.
Yeah, maybe it's it's an Austin Matthews pulling a Mark Messier and saying we will win Game 6 or we will win Game 7 at home.
I said that before. I always thought that they need something like that. We're like, you know what? No, we will win this game. We're going to win this game.
That's what I feel like they need that. Somebody in that leadership group to step up and say that. Whether it's Matthews, whether it's Nylander, whether it's one of those big four. Right. Need to step up, throw their nuts on the table, and say, we're winning the motherfucking game. Sorry, John, but we're winning the game.
I mean,
and you know, and back it up, you know, like Messier did, you know. So
like William Nylander needs to say, I know Austin Matthews is a pussy, but we're still gonna win. That's probably because he probably would say that. But Nylander's been, to me, Nylander's been the most consistent star player for them. Like Nylander has some balls. Marner and Matthews, I mean, you can question that. Matthews has played 10 second-round games now, and his career has 0 goals. So that's a sort of a striking stat.
Yeah.
And Marner's more of a playmaker type of guy, and he has made some plays, but I don't know. He's look at, you can't lose 6-1 in game 5 at home. Like you just can't do that. Like it's just, after all that you've been through, like you can't do that. And that was a complete, and Florida got goals from AJ Greer and Kulikov and
Boquist. I mean, Christ,
what's going on? Like
all the former Bruins coming back to
I know 3 former Bruins, and I don't know. It's just whatever. It's just, I don't know what's up with the Maple Leafs, and I'll tell you what. If I'm the Maple Leafs, I don't know if I want John Tavares back. Like that's a hard conversation. Probably, I don't even know if I want him back.
Yeah,
because I don't know if he's part of the problem. He's certainly not part of the solution yet.
Not yet.
I don't know. I mean, Marner probably walks, and Chris Johnson said that it seems more and more like he's looking to walk or whatever and find another place. Then there was another little rumor today I saw that the LA Kings are like going to be big spenders and ready to really make a splash and add to that team, which they think is pretty good anyway. And they could go after Mitch Marner. I mean, it's going to be a real. It's going to be a real sort of 8 or 10 teams just sort of clamoring to try to get the guy, because guys like Mitch Marner don't get to free agency at that age very often.
They don't at all.
Not 100-point scorer, like a guy who's capable of 100 points. No, not at 26 years old or whatever. It just doesn't happen.
It does not.
This is going to be a half the league kind of like everybody's in on it trying to get him. And but I don't know what the answer was with Toronto, because again, I thought they had the pieces this year to be, and they showed some toughness in the first round. Like they showed like they were a little different, and then right back to square one. And if they go out in game 6 and lose 4 or 5 to nothing, then Jesus, I don't know what happens. I just don't know what happens with them.
I mean,
it's going to be colossal.
Craig Brewery's the coach there. So as far as I'm concerned, that team can fuck right off for the rest of time, because any team he's associated with or the St. Louis Blues can fuck right off for all eternity, as far as I'm concerned. So not enough losing can happen to that guy, as far as I'm concerned. So, I hope they do. I hope they lose fucking 1,000,000 to nothing.
And it's funny, if they lose with him as coach, then you have to question if I thought he was the guy who was going to be different. He's going to add the toughness and the little sketchiness and all that edginess and all that crap. And then they go out and do the same shit again. Yeah. Like, who do you get to coach? Like, who do you get who are the players you need? Like, it's just like, I don't know. Do they go out and try to get a Marchand in the open market? Like, do they say, you know what? If you can't beat him, join him. Let's get Marchand. Maybe we can help our room. Maybe we can get us out of this. Maybe it needs a guy like him, like Mark Recchi was for the Bruins. Like, maybe you need a guy like that. So maybe Toronto says, hey, let's go get Marchand.
Could be.
As Marner walks. Could be. That could be an opening for them because I'd get a guy like him if I were them. Like, I'd get a guy that has some experience, who plays with some nuts and has won a cup and can bring that kind of leadership
thing. They tried it a bunch of times, though, right? They tried it with Ryan O'Reilly. They tried it with Corey Perry. Like, they've tried that shit, and it just doesn't work there for whatever reason. And I don't know if it's the star players. I don't know if it's the room. I don't know what it is. But whatever it is, it doesn't work there. And they got to figure out something else.
But I think you're right. I think it's partly it's getting into that curse thing, like some of those other teams from other sports have gone through, where you have to exercise the demons.
There's so much pressure from the fan base, because the fan base is so invested and so wants the team to win, and are just right on top of the guys, and they don't have a second to breathe. Right. And I think that weighs on the guys, especially when it starts to go bad, because then the whole city is just like doomsday and like, oh no, here we go again. And it just, I think it weighs on everybody. It's almost like they need like a Kevin Millar type who's going to go into the locker room. And you're right. It might be a guy like Marchand because he keeps the locker room loose. He'll chirp guys. He'll make fun of guys. And maybe they need a guy like that to kind of lighten it up a little bit and take some of the pressure off and have them come back to having a little bit of fun while they're playing. And maybe that's enough to get them over the hump. But as long as Berube's there, I hope they don't do it.
I hope they don't. And I'll tell you what, I would seriously, with Marner leaving, I would seriously, if they lose this next game, I would make an offer to Marchand and I would try to get him because you're going to need something in the room to change that vibe. And I would. I really would. All right. 7 Chirps is sponsored by Lops Brewing, Lobster Brewing and Tasting Room in downtown Woonsocket, Rhode Island, specializing in small batch ales and lagers, open 7 days a week. Use the coupon code SPORTS for 10% off your online order at lopsbrewing.com and follow them at Lops Brewing for new beers and events. Chirp 1, Rick Tocchet hired by Philly. Are you disappointed? Joel Quenneville to the Ducks. Is that a good move?
I am not disappointed that Tocchet went to Philly. I don't think he's the right guy for the Bruins. I think he's a hard-nosed guy. I think maybe he would bring some accountability, which I think they do need. But I don't know. I'm not sold on his coaching ability. I don't think he's done much where he's been. Like, he's had good teams where he's been and they haven't performed. Like, why with a coach with that kind of toughness and mental fortitude is there a problem in the locker room between Elias Pettersson and JT Miller? And why can't you iron it out? Like, why can't you figure that shit out while you're the coach there? You know, so I don't think he's the answer. Like, if a locker room is having that kind of problems and you're the coach, I don't love that.
You don't love it either.
No,
you don't love his 500 record either. Like, right. I don't see what the hammer is.
So go to Philadelphia. You know, his personality fits them perfectly. Sure. He used to play there. Like, that's a great fit for him and for the team. So I'm happy for Philadelphia that he went there. I'm not gonna lose any sleep at all over him going to the Flyers. And then as far as Quenneville, like, I don't know if the guy should be a coach in the league. Like, there was some shady shit that went down and he kind of swept it under the rug. Second chances, I guess, to a certain degree. But I don't know. Like, I don't love it. I don't love the optics of it. I don't love him with a young team, really. I feel like it should just be kind of a younger guy, more like a Spencer Carberry type, an up-and-coming type with an up-and-coming team that they can kind of grow together. So I don't love the Quenneville signing there. I'm not sure he should really be in the league still.
Yeah, I don't love Quenneville for what you said. Like, it's a younger team. I'd rather get a younger guy, like one of the assistants, maybe bring him in, that type of thing. Quenneville he's been out of the league a bit. You know, there's a lot of kind of negative stuff with him bringing it in. I don't love that with the Ducks. Tocchet, I just never saw it with him. Like, he's a 500 type of coach. Like, I just don't get it. And look, at the Bruins were never going to pay him what he made. Like, they just don't pay coaches, so that they're not paying that. So they weren't working anyway. But I really I'd rather the Bruins go with some longtime assistant like a Donskov or maybe Sturm or someone like that. I don't want him to go with a retread guy. I don't want him to go with a guy who has, some positives but some negatives. Like, let's just start fresh with a guy who's maybe respected, maybe has some new ideas, maybe has some offensive, like Don Sweeney said, some offensive creativity or what have you. Like, I'd rather go with that type of guy. So neither one of these guys, I wouldn't want with the Bruins anyway. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Now, Trip 2, would you trade down if teams with multiple first-round picks called? So Columbus has multiple, Philadelphia, Montreal, all have multiple first-rounders. Would you trade down and scoop those two?
I guess I would have to see, like, I would want to know when my time was, when I was on the clock, who was available on the board.
Right.
And if the 2 or 3 guys that I thought were going to be there are gone, yeah, I would trade down because I think they need more than one guy. Unless they're in love with a guy and think he's going to be the one, he's going to be the franchise center of the future. Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to trading down because I think, like a lot of people have said, after you get past 9-10, like the whole rest of the first round is very similar. So it's like there's a top 2, and then there's maybe a 3 to 8 or 9, and then there's the rest. So I don't know, like if you're really convinced that the guy you're going to get at 7 is one of those top guys, then I would stay at 7 and I would pick that guy, because who knows if you're going to be there again anytime soon. You're certainly going to try like hell to get into the playoffs. So, the chances of you landing high in the lottery again are probably slim.
Right.
So I think you take your shot if the guy you like is right there. But otherwise, yeah, trade down. See if you can get a couple of picks or, a pick and a player. I don't know. But yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Yeah, I just don't think the draft seems strong enough for a team to want to do that. Like, I don't know if a team really wants a guy to trade their 2 to get the one guy. I just don't know if that would happen anyway. And I really don't think Sweeney would. I think Sweeney wants to take this because look, they've been bitching about how they haven't had a first round pick and all that stuff. Like, he's going to take a guy at 7. I'm sure he has a couple of guys targeted. And I think those guys are like Dinwiddie, O'Brien, McQueen, some combination of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of those 3 guys are going to be taken by the Bruins. And I don't think, unless maybe Brady Martin, maybe they've fallen in love with him and his hype that's been coming in the last couple of weeks.
Sure.
Maybe. But I think he might be scooped by Philadelphia. I think he might go even higher if the hype train keeps going. So, but I think it's going to be one of those 3 guys. And I don't think it would happen anyway. And I don't know if I would. I'm like you. I'd have to see who's available, and then I'd have to get a really good read on, the 10 through 25 picks. Like, do I really think those 2 players are going to be pretty good or not?
Right. Well, and the other thing is that they want to go down that road again where you have multiple first round picks and you have the opportunity to fuck it up.
Yeah, sure.
Like,
sure.
They've done
that. Are you prepared this time?
Yeah, been there, done that. Like, are we going to huddle backstage and draw straws on who we're choosing, or are we going to actually follow a scouting report? So, I mean, there's some precedents there that I'm not sure they want to revisit. So I think they'll probably stay and take the guy that they're in love with and hope he's, the center or impact player that they need.
I'll tell you what, the amount of fucking regurgitation of that they weren't prepared because Donnie was hired too late thing.
Yeah.
It just fucking gets under my nads. It just squeezes him. I can't do it. I can't. He was the assistant GM.
Yeah.
That's not an excuse. The other thing is, you're not prepared. Okay. Why take Zach Senyshyn? Why reach for a guy? It doesn't make sense.
No, it does not.
Like, you would be over-prepared, overthought it to take Senyshyn.
Yeah, that's a lie, is what it is. It's a lie. It's a lie to placate, the media and the fans. And look, I don't know if they know this, and they should know it by now. The fans are much, much, much smarter than you think.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Especially in this area when you feed them bullshit.
Yes.
They can see through that a mile away. We've been doing it our whole lives. Friends give each other shit all the time. Practical jokes, whatever it is. We can see that. We see through the bullshit. So if you come out and feed us a line of bullshit, the fans are going to know. And they're going to understand that, and it does make it worse. If you just own up to it, if they had just come out and been accountable like they said they were going to be at the top of the motherfucking press conference and been accountable, then it would have been fine. Yeah, we messed it up. We shouldn't have taken Senyshyn, or we shouldn't have done that. We should have followed Central Scouting. We should have taken Kyle Connor, whatever they say. As long as they say it was our mistake, you can't really come back at them after that. It ends. If you just say we fucked it up, then what are everybody going to say to you after that? Well, you fucked it up. I know. We just told you we fucked it up, and then the story's over. They could have killed this story fucking 10 years ago if they were just smart about it. But instead, they just build on this. Oh, we weren't prepared, and we were huddled backstage, and like line after line of fucking bullshit. When you could have just said we messed it up. We messed it up. We picked the wrong guy. Yeah. We should have done something else. We didn't think it through, and we fucked it up. And it could have been over with.
I'm with you. I mean, look, Zaboril was kind of rated there, so I don't even blame him for that. And DeBrusk, but there was more talk about Barzal and O'Connor, but DeBrusk was okay. But it's the Senyshyn thing. And if you just come out and say, look, we did some due diligence on Senyshyn, we really thought there was something there, and we really thought he would blossom. And we had some questions about the other guys at the time. So be it. Like, that's what you decided. But to say you're unprepared when you're in the goddamn building, like, you mean to tell me that you and Peter Chiarelli are not talking about draft prospects until May? Like,
well, I mean,
make any fucking sense.
No, it doesn't. That would be like Evan Gold right now. Like,
saying, "Oh, Jesus,
like
really?"
Sitting on the Esplanade with a iced coffee, like watching the fucking swan boats, and Don Sweeney's doing draft prep. And then, Evan ends up getting the job, and he's like, "Oh, I
have no idea what's going on.
I don't know what's going on."
Right.
Like, he's in the fucking room. Evan Gold is in the room. Evan Gold's doing contracts. He's calling guys. Like, what do you mean Don Sweeney wasn't prepared? He was fucking probably standing right next to Chiarelli when the fucking thing was going down. What do you mean? Were you asleep? Were you in a coma? What were you fucking doing?
I would love a media member to say, "Hey, Cam, wasn't Don Sweeney the assistant GM at the time? Like, can't someone just ask that?"
We'll never get a credential.
Just ask it. It's a fucking valid question.
It really is a valid question.
He was a management member of the fucking team. Like,
he was.
So all of these brain dead fucking I sometimes I can't do the X thing with some of these podcasters out there that are just like ball washing the team in every fucking way. They don't care about you.
No, they
don't. They don't listen to you. They don't care about you. They think you're a twit. Like,
whoa. No, time out. Because those motherfuckers listen enough to say, "Oh, no." I guarantee you that they listen to us. They just shut the fuck up.
They might not listen to them, but they listen to us.
They listen to us.
Yeah. We're like the Howard
I would listen to us too, because we're better.
Yeah, we're the Howard Stern show.
Closet fashion, like some of those people in the Bruins front office like listen to us and they like it, but then they're like, we can't really show them these guys. Chirp 3, the Bruins coaching search seems to target assistants. Would the Bruins pay more for a coach than in the past? Evidently not. Looks like Misha Donskov and Marco Sturm seem to be the two, and I'm not even going to mention Jay Woodcroft because I don't want it to happen. Sturm or Donskov.
I hate the idea of Jay Woodcroft. If he can't win with the two best players on the fucking planet, what do you think he's going to do with Pasternak and a bunch of bums?
Yeah, no, not going to happen.
No,
nope.
No, it isn't. It isn't going to happen. So I don't want that guy anywhere near my fucking team.
The more I read about Donskov, the more I read about it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I think Donskov is the guy for me. He's done a lot of different roles. He's been in a lot of different roles within a front office. He's done some scouting. He's done some player development. Like, he's coached. Like, he's done a lot of different things. I think he knows what he's doing. I think he knows hockey. He's been in winning organizations. So yeah, he's the guy for me. And he's an outside voice as well. He's not from here. He's never played here, where Marco Sturm's played here. So he has an idea, he probably has friends and Sweens and fucking Neely. So he probably has the inside track if we're thinking about it, because they're fucking buddies, I'm sure. Yeah. But I would rather have the guy that has no affiliation with the Bruins.
If Dallas wins a cup, he could be a two-time cup winner.
Yeah,
because he won with Vegas with Cassidy. I wonder what that conversation is with Cassidy and Donskov. Like, I wonder what he said. I'm sure he talks to Cassidy and says, "Hey, what's that like over there? What do you think? What do you think?" And of course, he wants to take it because you want your first job. Yeah. But I wonder what that conversation is like with Cassidy.
That's a good question. I wonder if he's turning Donskov off of it and being like, "Oh, right. I don't know.
Wait for the next one." Yeah.
I don't know if I work. I mean, it's original 6, and that's great, but I don't know if I'd work for those two guys. They're clowns.
Could be.
Yeah,
could be. Because Cassidy pretty much was surprised by that firing.
If you had to bet right now, who's the coach of the Bruins next year?
Marco Sturm.
I agree.
I think
Mougenel.
Oh my God, Connor!
If it's Ryan Mougenel, I'll tell you right now, we are going live that night.
We are going to do an emergency press conference, and
never mind. Wait, time out. We'll wait till another chirp for that. I'll bring it back up later.
Okay.
But we will. Ryan Mougenel. Did you hear the comment he made about Poitras?
I think that's
we're gonna talk about the trip.
Yeah,
but we'll talk about it on the trip that's coming up. All right, chirp 4. Can the Bruins afford to pursue an RFA with an offer sheet? We do have the list of the compensation. So the compensation makes it interesting.
Mm-hmm.
If it's anything less than a $5 million player, it's a second round pick at best. But once it gets over the 4.68,
yeah,
and it's a first and a third. So is there a guy out there you would really want to, use a first and a third on?
I would not do that if I'm the Bruins. I'm not giving up the 7th overall pick and an early 3rd round pick. As much as my drafts have been bad for anyone in restricted free agency, I'm just not doing it. I'm not giving up that much for a restricted free agent. As much as I like some of the guys, and I like most of the guys. Ty Anderson had a list of like 7 or 8 guys, and I liked all of them. Like I would like all those guys to be on the Bruins, all of them.
Sure.
But I'm not giving up anything more than a second. So it's 4.68. And I'm going like $1 less. I'm going for,
I'm going to chime in for you.
0.75. Yeah, go ahead.
I believe if you sign the RFA to an offer sheet after the draft, it's next year's first round draft pick. If you want
after the draft. Okay. So next year's. Okay.
All right. That does change it slightly, but not a lot.
But you give up a first, second, and third for a nice, because he's going to be in that range, 7 to 9.5. That's a first, second, and a third.
I think with Marner leaving and Tavares potentially leaving, I think they would match.
Right.
It's got to. He's going to be he's probably looking at. I thought I saw today. It was like 8 times 9.5. Like that's 2 firsts, 1 second, 1 third. Like
it's 2 firsts, 1 second, 1 third. Wow.
I'm not doing that. As much as I like the player, I'm not doing that.
Like a Marco Rossi would probably be in that 7 to 9.3. I would assume.
Yeah, I would say
that's first, second, and a third. Although you may be able to get Rossi on a trade, but
I mean, I like the player and I like the idea of those things. It's too rich for me. Like I like Voronkov a lot. I like McTavish a lot. There was some other guys that Ty Anderson have that's not on our list that I liked that I can't think of off the top of my head.
Well, you liked Coyle.
Who?
Or what's his name? How do you say his name? From the Rangers.
Will Cooley.
Will Cooley. Yeah, I do. I like him a lot.
You like him, and then there was another guy.
It might have been Voronkov.
I'm pulling it up for you right now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Kako was one of them.
It was Will Cooley at the top. Then it was Luke Evangelista, a winger from the Nashville Predators.
I like him too.
Kako, winger for the Seattle Kraken. Ryan McLeod, center for the Buffalo Sabres. Mason McTavish, center for the Anaheim Ducks. And then Dmitry Voronkov, winger for the Columbus Blue Jackets.
But are those guys worth the first round fucking pick?
No. So for what I would do is I would go $1 less than whatever the second round thing is. Seriously. And they would probably, they would probably match it, but that's what I would do. I would try to steal one of those guys for a second rounder because most of them are still young and they add some good middle six depth to your team that you need, scoring depth. So that's what I would do. And if I didn't get him, then I didn't get him. But
anything up to $4.6 million is a second round pick. So that's decent to work with. Yeah.
I mean, I would go, whatever, 8 years or however long the guy wanted to go, times 4.679. Like I would climb right up to that fucking threshold, but stay under it and see if I could get one of those guys for a second rounder and steal them. Because the Bruins need some younger talent, and I think all those guys are better than what you have currently on the roster. So I don't have a problem trying to grab any of those guys. Really,
yeah, I think they should be aggressive. I think that there's been talk that teams are going to actually be giving offer sheets this year, because usually it was like this handshake, like we're not touching your guys, you're not touching our guys. But I think it's going to happen a little bit more this year. So we'll see what happens and who those players are.
Because St. Louis did it to Edmonton and stole a couple of their guys.
They stole two of their guys. Yeah.
I could see, and they had some success with it. But like those guys were good for the Blues. So I feel like you probably will see it a little bit.
I feel like teams should be doing it. Like especially with the cap going up and stuff, they should be doing it.
Absolutely.
They should be stretching it out. They should be pushing the envelope a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Chart 5, Providence Bruins coach Ryan Mougenel said Matt Poitras played like a man in the playoffs. And here's what else he said. It was telling for a lot of guys. We got a lot of answers. Matt Poitras stepped up, which is an important part of it. We're going to go on and build a winning culture in Boston. It's encouraging that he played like a man. What does we're going to go on and build a winning culture in Boston mean?
It means that we might have to go live when they announce the next coach. That's what that means. Because Ryan Mougenel, we're gonna. I might have an aneurysm or throw a fit on you live on YouTube.
Okay, here's the thing.
I might throw a temper tantrum as a grown man live on YouTube.
Here's the thing. Ryan Mougenel might be a good coach. I don't know. Maybe he is. And maybe he's a swell guy. But here's the thing.
Those things.
Yeah, sure.
He's a swell guy and a good coach.
But here's the fucking thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, John. Your team, the Providence Bruins, had multiple times this playoffs where they didn't fucking show up.
Didn't show up.
Even though Patrick Brown is a absolute historic leader, but they didn't show up.
Hey, did you know Patrick Brown took a slap shot off the face?
Off the face. Yeah, he took it off the face. Which
absolutely.
Did you hear about that at all? I don't know. I wasn't sure if you missed it, because it really hasn't been spoken about much on Bruins Twitter. They kind of glossed over it.
Yeah,
I just wanted to make sure you were. I just wanted to make sure you were you knew about it. You knew how much of a leader Patrick Brown was, and how
Frog's fat ass.
I'll tell you, I was really surprised it wasn't talked about more than 25 times a day. Like I was really, I thought it'd be more than that, because look, that's very valuable. That's very valuable to take pucks off the face or be willing to do so. I mean, that you should pay guys to do that. You should play them with top line center.
You should,
in Providence, you should do that too. And Ryan Mougenel has had, problems with Merkulov, problems with Lysell, the same shit that we hear the Bruins head coaches have.
Yeah,
Mougenel's had with players, and he's had teams not show up, and the same fucking thing. Like it's just going to be incestuous in-house, family bullshit.
It's
going to be the same philosophy. Sweeney's going to have his thumbprints all over it. Yeah. And it's just, I don't want it. I don't want it.
Here's the main question that I have for you, and I would put out to all the listeners and all the people around the world that are Bruins fans. If player development and finding the next guy and making Matthew Poitras into the next, center prospect for the Bruins that's going to be there forever and be the man. How has development been in Providence? How has Fabian Lysell's development been in Providence under Mougenel? How's Georgi Merkulov's development been down there? How has the development been in Providence with all when every time they need a guy during the season, when the team was actually doing okay and not shitting the bed like they were at the end of the season? Why did every single time a guy got called up, it was a veteran or it was Riley Tufte, or it was Connor Brown, or it was one of these
BL,
and not one of the draft picks that you developed or was supposedly developing in Providence. Where's the development? If he's the coach of that team, where's the development? Where's the progress? Where's any of that for guys? Lysel's been down there with him forever. Has he developed at all? They don't.
Nobody knows
because they won't give him a fucking game in the NHL.
No. Nobody knows. But but Mougenel brings up all of his weaknesses and says it over and over again. And is he stalling out? Your prospects. Is he stalling out those guys? Poitras went down and played well, but Poitras had NHL experience. He's an NHL type of player already, even though he's not fully developed. He's been in the NHL, so going to the AHL, like he has an advantage, But I'm with you. Like, I mean, is he stalling guys out? Is he keeping guys from? I don't know if is he developing them the way they need to develop. And if he becomes the head coach of the Boston Bruins, what does that mean? Like what? See, to me, if I'm David Pastrnak, I'm like, what are we doing? That's what I would say. If I was David Pastrnak, I would say, what the hell are we doing?
Yeah, I don't want Ryan Mougenel as my coach as much as he might be a great dude and a good hockey coach and probably will buy beers, for a bunch of people at the bar. I don't want him to be my hockey coach because I don't think that the prospects have developed under him. And if you're going to be the coach of this team and you're going to bring in, maybe the 7th overall pick, like, is that guy going to develop under Ryan Mougenel? I don't know because other guys haven't. So, are you going to stunt his growth? Are you going to make sure all the prospects are trying to be Patrice Bergeron rather than, themselves or the best version of whatever they do at hockey? So I got a problem with this organization and the coaches in general trying to turn everyone into the best defensive forward in the history of the league. I got a problem with that. And I think that's where the development issue stems from. Not everyone has the greatest defensive stick in the history of the league. Let it go. Let it fucking go.
What do you think? What do you think? I'm going to say it again. I really believe that Matt Poitras needs to be a productive second line center for you to have any chance to be significantly better next year. Do you think that that's possible? Do you think that that's going to happen? Do you think? I think if it was me, I give him every chance in the world next year to try to prove that, because you need to know either way.
I think he should get the chance to prove it. Do I think it'll happen? No, because I don't think they'll give him the chance to prove it. I really don't.
He'll have a couple of stinkers and then he'll be up and down. And
I mean, they'll probably start him out on the wing. They'll probably give the second line center spot to fucking Mr. Masters, Casey Middlestad, and his minus 47. And that's what it'll be. It'll be a veteran guy that's under contract for decent money. Will take that spot, even though he shouldn't. And Poitras will probably start on the wing with Middlestad. He'll be a -6 because Middlestad's not playing good defensive, in his defensive zone. And Poitras will take the blame for that, not Middlestad. He'll get sent down. Middlestad will still be there. And the next game, he'll be a -6 again.
Yeah. Turn into Charlie Coyle 2.0.
And then
because he makes almost $6 million a year, so they're going to play him.
That's what I'm saying.
They're going to play him. And Poitras makes, $920, whatever the hell it is. And so you can fuck around with him. Yeah, that's how it is.
If the Bruins don't have the worst player development, they have the worst asset management.
They do.
What they have, producer Connor Green, is both.
Yeah, both. Yeah,
they have the worst player development and the worst asset management. They have both.
They have a potpourri of worsts.
They do. They have cornered the market on worsts.
I believe we can call that poopery.
Poopery. Yes,
I think we should.
Chirp 6, Dan Zlashmelis. Impressive in Worlds. Legit option next season?
I mean, he should be. Look, he should be. He should get every opportunity to make the team out of camp. He should.
I'm with you.
He should get every single opportunity because he might be one of those middle-round, diamond in the rough guys that you're like, where the hell did this come from?
Yeah.
Well, here he is. And let's not, let's not squelch the creativity and kill his confidence and send him down and make him be a better two-way center. He's already a pretty good two-way center, and he can score goals, and he's a little bit quick, and he's got a little bit of feisty streak to him, and he's been a leader everywhere he's been. So that's taken care of, Sweens. I mean, Jesus fuck. Give him a chance. Give him a chance, but they won't. They won't, because they'll have, a bunch of third and fourth line guys that they sign in the offseason, ready to step into a role there. Already probably roles spoken for by guys who haven't earned them, John Beecher. And that'll be the end of that. See ya.
Do you think, is Leshmel's playing center?
I don't know offhand.
I don't know if he's playing
center. I believe he is a center.
He's a center by nature, I believe, but I don't know if he's been playing that in the Worlds or playing that in Providence anyway. But but I'll tell you, play the best fucking guys you have.
The third leading scorer in the entire tournament.
Yeah.
You know who tied for first is? Do you see this?
I know this. It was tied for first in the tournament.
Yes. This was before today's action, I believe. I don't know what happened today.
It was. I thought I knew this.
I'll give you a hint. They're both Bruins.
It wasn't.
Elias Lindholm.
Oh, Elias Lindholm.
Yeah. I didn't even cheat. Tournament.
And it was a Teravainen on the other one?
No. Bruins.
No. Bruins. So it's Elias Lindholm, Lashmelis.
Lashmelis is third. The two guys tied for first are both Boston Bruins.
So the top three in the tournament.
Laux?
Yeah. Yes.
No.
Is it Lauko?
No. Oh, it's a pretty good Bruin, and I'm kind of infuriated right now that neither.
Is it Zacha?
No.
Who is it?
Better than Zacha.
Pasternak?
Yes, thank you.
It's Pasternak. Okay, so they have the three top scorers.
Shopping, okay?
They have the three top scorers in Worlds.
Well, Pasternak and Lindholm are tied for first. Both of them had 2 goals and 4 assists, 6 points.
Yeah.
Lashmelis is third. So there might be.
Teravainen had 6 assists in one game.
So that might have, like I said, that might have been before today's action, but it was it was those 2 guys were tied for first, and then Lashmelis was third with 3 goals and an assist. So he had 4 points.
Yeah, I mean, Sidney Crosby sought him out and said he played great, and he was really impressed by him. Like, play the best players in your organization on the Boston Bruins team. I don't give a shit who it is. Play the best players, and you can't tell me that Dan Lashmelis is not going to go into camp next year and be one of the better players, one of the top 12 forwards that you have. Yeah, he absolutely is going to be.
I'll tell you right now, he'll give you more than John Beecher does.
For fuck's sake, he will.
That's
Mount Kastelic. Any of those guys.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying
AC Middlestat.
Well, those spots are already spoken for. Because Kastelic's signed to a 3-year deal.
They ran it back.
Makes 5.75. Beecher's an RFA, and he was a Sweeney first-round pick. Those guys are going to be on the team, and I'm going to lose my shit.
They practically ran it back with everybody.
Yeah, they probably will run it back. And I tell you what, if they run it back, the team's going to suck again.
They're going to suck again.
So there's that. There you go. Here's a prediction from me. If they run it back, the team will suck again, and they'll be in the lottery again, and maybe they'll win it. That's what what I'm looking for. That's kind of what I'm hoping for.
Just be in it.
Maybe Mougenel comes up and just shits all over this team, and it's a bunch of, and they suck, and they have all the wrong guys on the roster. That'd be fine for 1 year. If you want to do that, you want to have Mougenel in Gavin. And then you get Gavin McKenna, and you gas everybody. Sweeney, Neely, Mougenel, everybody out. Don't let the door hit you on the ass, and we'll start fresh.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see.
Yeah, we will.
Chirp 7. Growing sense around the league that Mitch Marner wants a fresh start with a new organization. Chris Johnston mentioned it in a recent article for The Athletic. Thoughts on Mitchy Marner?
Mitchy Marner is coming to the Boston Bruins. And I've convinced myself of it. I am going to be angry if he doesn't. He is coming here. He wants to jam it up Toronto's ass. The Bruins are going to pay because they need to. They need more elite talent. He is the one elite talent in free agency. And like you said, there's going to be a bidding war, but the Bruins have the money. So bid it and bring the fucking guy in and make Pastrnak excited about coming to the rink again. Give the fan base a little bit of hope. Tell you what, that would energize the fan base and get some people around town excited about the team again after what was one of the worst years in recent memory. So bring the fucking guy in and let's get to work. Mitchy coming to Boston. Love it.
I wonder if there's like odds right now on where he goes on DraftKings. I wonder if that's the case. If it is, then you can put all your money and all your kids' money in the future college fund on Mitchy Marner coming to Boston. Do it right this way on DraftKings. DraftKings Sportsbook is Boston's hometown sportsbook. It's live right here in Massachusetts. Bet local and all your favorite sports from the comfort of your own home with DraftKings. To celebrate, all new customers will receive up to $150 in bonus bets when you sign up for DraftKings Sportsbook using code ITR. You can now bet local on money lines, spreads, props, and more with one of America's top-rated sportsbooks. That's DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Sign up with the code ITR to get up to $150 in bonus bets to use now that mobile sports betting is live in Massachusetts. That's code ITR only at DraftKings Sportsbook.
If your loved one is experiencing problems with gambling, call 800-327-5050 or visit helplinema.org to speak with a trained specialist free and confidentially 24/7. Must be 21 plus, physically present in Mass. Eligibility restrictions apply, subject to regulatory licensing requirements. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as free bets. Terms at DraftKings.com/MA.
Hey, I was just looking at DraftKings looking for Mitchy, but I did see the NHL draft. It's James Higgins against the field as the number one pick.
Really?
The field is minus 550. Higgins is plus 300.
Yeah, that's because he's not going to be the number one pick.
Yeah, but that's the only one. That's the only one on here.
Really?
I found that interesting that James Higgins against the field. I wonder if there's some intel that maybe he gets, I don't know. I mean, that's asking for a bust and a half. I don't know. I don't know if I'd go Higgins.
Is he like a Long Island kid? Like, is he a New York kid, Higgins? I think he might be.
Is he?
I think he might be. That might be why. I think.
Oh, you know what? He is. He's a home. They were talking about that. Yeah. I think he's Long Island, New York. Yeah, he's Hoppage, whatever the fuck it is. Long Island. Played for the Long Island Royals.
Yeah. So there you go. That's why.
There you go.
Wow. Can you imagine if they passed on Schaefer to take Higgins? Holy. Tell you, there would be some teams trading up to
they would try to go get Higgins. They'd try to go get Schaefer. Yes,
try
they
to
would.
get Schaefer and Misa probably.
They would try to get Misa. Right.
Tried to trade into the top three. People won't be trading for 7, but they'll be trading to get into the top 3 if those guys are around. And Connor wants to chime in.
Right. Some quick cleanup on Don's Lochmelis. He looks like he's playing center. He has a 50% face-off percentage in a couple of the games. So it looks like he's playing center, but they just have him listed as a forward.
All right.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, look, Poitras and Lochmelis are your two guys. I'm telling you, call everybody about Casey Millistat. Call everyone and try to just rid yourself of that, please. Like, you don't need it. You don't need him. You don't. Go with younger guys.
Speaking of the Worlds, I think we need to touch on this a little bit. We didn't have it as a chirp, but Jeremy Swayman.
Oh my goodness, we didn't have it as a chirp, but my God Almighty!
Bonus chirp 8.
Yes.
Wow. So
I mean, wow.
At one point, I believe he had given up 4 goals on 13 shots, or 5 goals on 13 shots.
Yeah. How about the game tie? Was it not the game tie? There's maybe the goal that made it 5-4, leaky through the 5-hole, breakaway. Yeah. Oh my God, make that save.
Yeah, that was a bad goal. And then the goal to tie it was, it was kind of a screen, but it was low blocker, which we've talked about a million times.
That's where you beat him.
He was leaning to the wrong side, and the guy went low blocker far side and scored. And how many times have we seen low blocker beat him clean? Never mind with a screen.
Clean. Yeah.
So that's a problem for him now. And if he can't fix that, if that's going to be a goal, 75% of the time or 25% of the time, whatever it is, that's huge trouble.
That's big trouble.
And the fact that he had that kind of a game against that opponent who was 0-3, didn't have a point in the tournament, and finished 11th the year before, or the last time they had the damn
4 goals in the 3 games.
4 goals in the 3 games. Then they have 5 on you in one game. He's never going to see the ice again in that tournament, and he might not ever be invited back to
that might be the end of the USA.
He might not make it to the Olympics. We thought before he was a shoo-in for the Olympics. He probably won't go now.
He won't go. And I'll tell you, this is getting to a level you got to be a little scared.
It's getting scary. It is.
It is getting scary. Like it is. This is not like you would think against that opponent. He would show up and play better, but he still hasn't figured shit out. So I don't know when that's going to happen. And you're right. He's beaten low blocker a lot. And we talked about it fucking 3 months ago.
We did.
That was an issue, and here it is. So it's really bad, right? I don't know what to tell you. You have to hope to God.
You do. You just have to hope and pray that the guy figures it out. But right now, it's a scary situation because you have a goaltender that you signed to a long-term, big money contract that may have lost it. He may have just lost it, and he's just not good anymore. And that's not great when you with the kind of money that you're shelling out for the guy.
Yeah, we've seen it before with Blaine Locker, and we've seen it before.
It's happened.
Carter Hart was a mess. Sure, it happens.
He had to go back down to the minors. I mean, he was a mess, and still hasn't ever really regained the form that he had when he was first came into the league. Because once you go around the league a few times, teams get a book on you. They scout you, and they figure out how to score on you. And unless you make an adjustment, it's going to continue to happen. And he consistently gets beat in the same spots. So
can you imagine what a farce that would have been if he ends up losing it and it's just bad? Like, can you imagine like what a fucking con artist fucking bullshit? That is just awful.
It would probably go down as the worst contract in the history of the Bruins.
Right? It will.
He'll never be able to step foot in Boston again.
Oh my God! That would be just
the
end.
It really would have to, right? Because it's like the longest term, biggest money deal of a guy that just was awful.
Yeah, it would be bad. It would be far worse than Lindholm and whatever.
Worse than Lindholm, worse than Bolesky, because that was a shorter term deal.
Was a shorter term. Yeah,
Backus was 30 million. 6 years, but that was, or 5 years for $6 million or whatever it was, but that was 30 million and you got out. This is, Jesus, 8 years.
This is 68. What was it? $68 million or something?
I mean,
holy shit. That's not good.
That's gotta worry you as a Bruins fan.
I am really worried.
And I was like, oh, Sway's playing. And then they were up 5-1. I'm like, oh, and then they were like, well, 1 goal on 5 shots. And I was like, okay. And then I'm watching the game and then it's 5-2, 5-3, 5-4. I'm like, what is happening right now? And then 5-5. And you're like, are they going to blow this? And thankfully, Tage Thompson bailed him out. But
he did.
I was watching the game and I was like, if they lose this game, my word.
Yeah. He's in a bad way.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good at all. He needs to go back to Alaska and catch some fish.
This is not like late training camp anymore. This is far beyond that. This is a problem.
He doesn't really have an excuse at this point in time.
Oh, he doesn't. He's got to get his head out of his ass. Is what he has to do. I don't know what.
I that's going to be a problem. I think it's going to be a problem.
That's going to be one of the bigger stories coming in. Sure, is all eyes on Swayman because he's got to be good because they just can't afford him giving up leaky goals. They aren't talented enough.
We talked about it when he was holding out, and if he signed that big contract, the amount of pressure he would be under to perform, and where he get hurt and missing training camp and all that stuff. And I tell you, the pressure. He says he's fine, but I don't believe that for one single.
He's not fine. I mean, everybody just assumes he's the bulldog and nothing will phase him, and he's ultra confident and all that. On the outside, he is, and I'm sure he was in the beginning. Like, I'm sure he went into those contract negotiations saying, "I played great in the end of the year, played great in the playoffs. Like, I'm the man." Sure, and then he goes and he says, "Oh my God, this is real life," and now he's like, "Fuck, like I don't know what to do now. I'm not very good."
Yeah.
You know,
so a little adversity and how do you respond? Like, mentally, I'm not sure he's not that he's not all there, but like, I'm not sure mentally he can handle it. I don't know. Like, it remains.
You don't know.
It does.
Just because he says shit doesn't mean he can handle it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, you put a brave face on, but that doesn't mean underneath you're not crying. Everybody's seen the meme of the guy with the happy mask on and behind it he's crying. Like, that seems to be what Swayman's doing right now. And I don't know if he needs a mental health coach or what, but needs something to kind of pull his head out of his ass and get him back going in the right direction. And the Bruins are going to be in a bad way for a long time.
And it seemed like he had less and less teammate support too. Like,
correct. Yeah.
It just didn't seem like the teammates were like rallying around him either. So I don't know. You're on an island now, my brother. All right. The beauties for this week: Zdeno Chara and Patrice Bergeron.
Gonna love you, eh? They're gonna be loving you from dawn until dusk.
These two make the all-century, quarter-century team.
Yeah.
For the beginning of the 2000s. So Chara and Bergeron make the a quarter-century team.
They should.
Good
players, classy players. Did things the right way here. Beloved. Chara actually, was the one who kind of reset the culture. Bergeron, passed it down to Bergeron, and Bergeron, like I've said, a million times, best defensive stick in the history of the league, probably, and one of the greatest defensive forwards in the history of the league. And Connor wants to chime in here.
Question for you, gents. In 2050, when you guys are 32 years old again, who will be, if any, the Boston Bruin on that quarter-century team?
2050.
So from 25 to 50, David Pastrnak.
Yeah.
Will be on there because he'll play till, what's it now? He's 28 now? So he'll play to, 30, at least 33, 34. So yeah, I would say him.
Yeah, he'll be on it.
I think
that's it.
There'll be anybody else.
I think that's it.
Unless they get a guy, between, 2030 and 2050.
Yeah, if you get a couple of young guys in the draft, maybe the 7th overall pick is that guy. Maybe it's Gavin McKenna next year if they get lucky. But Charlie McAvoy has a lot of work to do if he wants.
Yeah, and he won't, because there's too many there'll be too many good defensemen.
There's a ton of
too many.
There is.
Oh,
there's a ton of good defensemen. So
yeah, I just don't think he'll get there.
I agree. I don't think he will either. So that's what I'm saying. I think it's going to be Pastrnak and him alone, unless Mitchy Marner comes to the.
Unless Mitchy Marner. So I was thinking about this. Mitchy Marner is a free agent, big time free agent. The last one must have been Chara, right? In 06 is a big time free agent that came here. Of that stature, not fucking Bolesky and all these other guys, like of that stature, Hall of Fame level.
Chara and Savard, same year.
That year. So 20 years ago was the last
Savard
time.
was, he was a 90-point guy.
Oh yeah, he was one of the top players, one of the top centers in the league.
Sure. So I would say, those two guys. So it's been a long time. I mean, they went after Ginla, but he was at that point in time, he was past his prime.
Yeah, like Recchi and Yager, and there's been some guys in there.
Nash, like those guys were past
Nash. Yeah.
But yeah, they haven't really gotten a big name free agent
in the prime.
And I think a lot of it has to do with their internal salary cap. And I wonder if they have one now. They may. And if they do, they're not going to get Marner, because
they're not going to get Marner. No.
So I mean, I don't think they're going to get Marner. That's all a
I just don't think they're going to outbid people. Like, they're not going to give Marner $14 million a year.
It's a brave face I'm putting on. I'm gonna try like hell. I'm gonna be positive about this. I think he's coming to the Bruins. I don't, but I think he is. but they need
wait, Smitty.
What?
Who did you hear that from? That Mitchy Marner is going to come to Boston? Is it your source's source or?
Yeah, it's my source's nephews, cousins.
His sorcerer. Yeah.
My source's daughter saw his nephew's cousin at 31 Flavors while they were getting an ice cream cake, and said it's done.
Yeah. He's buying a house in Methuen.
Yeah, he's moving. He's going to rent an apartment. He's going to sublet. Actually, it's Zdeno Chara's old apartment in the North End.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
So
makes sense.
He's going to go down to the Europe.
Bought a house down the Cape. He bought Cassidy's house down the Cape, and he's
he lives in Katuitt in the off season, and he lives in North End during the season. You know, his family really loves the area. Whenever they travel to Boston from Toronto, really love the area. They really love the city. They've done the Freedom Trail.
Mm-hmm.
They've done the duck tours. They've done all the stuff around town. They're just really, really big fans of Boston. So yeah, I mean, he's coming. It's like, 5 or 6% that he's coming.
My early prediction: LA Kings.
I think LA would probably be a very good spot for him. I think that's probably, if they have the money, I think that's where he ends up.
Yeah, I think they will. I think they're going to be aggressive, and Ken Holland just signed on there, and I think it's going to be. I think they're a front runner for sure, one of them. But we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, Bender time.
Oh yeah. So the Bender is Max Domi.
The Bender.
What a trash hit on Barkov at the end of that game. What an absolute piece of shit.
Well, Apple doesn't fall far.
But I tell you, this is what Toronto does, though. It's like they get up in a series and then they're getting trounced and then they start doing dumb shit and it costs them games. Same with when the Leafs were playing the Bruins and they had Kadri. He took that run at, who was it, DeBrusque?
Yeah.
And he elbowed him in the head, suspended for 2 games, and then they lose. It's like their forwards just do dumb shit, and then they lose. So now it's Max Domi's turn to do dumb shit for the Leafs, and now they're going to lose.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a trash hit at the end of a game, completely uncalled for on the numbers. And did he get fined or suspended or anything? Or did they not even do anything to him?
I don't think they did anything. They've been really limited on the suspensions. They got Ekblad, but that was a reputation thing. But they've let a lot of shit go.
Usually, plays like that at the end of games, guys get
something.
Yeah, they either a suspension or at least a fine.
They don't want that stuff. Yeah,
no, they don't want it. So I don't know.
Not the end of the game.
Probably because Barkov wasn't hurt, because Domi's a little fucking pipsqueak and a douche. So
Domi was fined $5,000
maximum allowed under the fucking CBA. Jerk me off, George Parros.
I'll tell you what, those numbers need to go up. I mean, that's just not a lot of money.
I mean, that's a nice dinner for those guys. Like,
it is. That's
But anyways, he was fined. Big deal. He should have been suspended for it, in my opinion. It was a terrible hit, and he's a douchebag. And so is his coach. And I hope they lose. So there you go.
Who would you rather have right now on your team, everything included? Would you rather have Sasha Barkov, or would you rather have Austin Matthews?
Wow.
Tough one, isn't it? Like I heard that question raised, and I'm like, oh, Matthews, and I'm like, well, wait a minute.
Yeah,
like,
Matthews, hands down.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think it's a hands down thing.
Matthews this year,
Markov's a really good player.
He's a really good player. Like, he's really good.
A winning player.
And a winning, yes.
Yeah. I don't think it's
not a winning player, and he had kind of a down year, and their team's going to lose again. Like, has he won a second round series ever in his life?
No, they haven't. They haven't been to the conference finals since 2002.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Like, I don't know. They've had a lot of talent there. So don't tell me it's because he doesn't have
had a lot of talent. He's had 0 goals in 10 second round games in his career.
Yeah. He's had plenty of talent around him. So I don't know. Like, I pause but then I probably go Barkov.
Because I would lean right now to Barkov. Now,
you fucking Don Sweeney sons of bitches. You pick the best player available.
No. Don Sweeney would take Matthews and they'd piss down their leg every year. Like, look at I really like
37.
I really like Austin Matthews. I think he's just a world class player. He's supremely talented.
Yeah.
I think he's awesome. But he's not getting it done. There's an element of getting it done. He's just not getting it done.
That's where it comes. That's where it falls for me. Like if you just said regular season alone, it's Matthews, and it's not even a close.
Not even close. Yeah.
But if you put everything else in with it, if you put the playoff success and the playing and showing up in big games and winning big games, like I'll take Barkov. I'll take my.
I would almost think that if Barkov and Matthews if they switched teams like 2 games ago, then I think
at least win.
That Toronto wins.
I think maybe you're right.
It's an interesting.
It really is an interesting debate. You should have like many drinks over the summer and just talk about it.
Just talk about.
Just go live for an hour. Barkov or Matthews. Maybe we should do that as random lives. We'll just pick 2 guys and we'll say which one would you rather have.
Who would you rather have? Yeah.
We'll just get drunk
and some sips. Yeah. And we'll jump everybody in live and we'll just debate it.
And
who would you rather? We'll pick like 3 pairs.
Yeah.
And we'll just be like this guy or this guy, and then have the comments just fire out.
Yeah.
And just talk about this guy or this guy.
I think we should do that.
Yeah. We'll do that all summer long. This guy or this guy.
Maybe we should do it like almost like a March Madness, like a round of 64 and like eliminate guys as we go.
That would be a cool one.
Who would you rather
build a bracket?
Yeah, build a bracket, and who would you rather champion at the end of the summer?
The top 64.
Yeah. We got to count how many episodes we're doing, but
that's true.
Maybe
we could do like a round and then another round.
32.
You just have to do more an episode. That's all.
Yeah. I guess. I mean,
we just randomly pop up and do like, okay, we're gonna do the round of 32 now tomorrow night. Fuck it, whenever.
Yeah, the first round is quick, less yapping, more decisions.
Yeah. So that's something we should do. Look at that. We just came up with an idea on the fly. Yeah. Right in the middle of the podcast.
I'm an idea
man. We thrive on enthusiasm.
Yeah. Hey, be all sorts of enthusiastic and head over to the merch shop.
Yes.
And grab some Bruins Benders merch.
For God's sakes, please, people.
20% off with code Sorry John. I mean, can you feed us? I mean, honestly, we are just eating peanut butter and jelly over here.
We're starving over here. Can you buy a sweatshirt or buy I mean, do we need to put tank tops in this thing for the summertime? Do we need to put swim shorts? Yeah. Can we put some bathing suits in there? Maddie will get a model of Speedo for you guys. It'll be awesome.
A Speedo that just right in the front says "Sorry, John," like right in the front.
Yeah, right on the ass cheeks.
Yeah,
right on the ass cheeks. Sorry,
Maddie turns in from Pitbull to Bert Kreischer with a Speedo.
Yeah, Bert Kreischer. Yeah. Well, let's talk about. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do
a bright yellow one. We're gonna
do that next off air. We're talking about overrated comedians.
Okay.
Yeah, because absolutely. I was thinking that the other day. ITR Plus is where you get it. Benders off air. That's the QR code, and get to. It's also on the shop page and InsideTheRink.com. And join us for some off-air content that's pretty funny.
Yeah, do that too. That's it's good laughs. It's
good laughs.
It's a little
$5 a month.
I mean, it's a little bit more of our personality.
Stuff a month.
Just get in there, buy the thing, and have some fun with us. And we're gonna do some more lives and shit like that on there. So, come along for the ride. We would love to have you.
That's what we should pump. We're gonna do a live, and we'll pump it out like 3 or 4 weeks ahead of time. And we'll be like, we're gonna go live, so you gotta subscribe.
Yeah, we're definitely doing a live. We're doing a live draft show on the night of the draft.
We are doing a live draft show.
So you can throw that into your fucking Google Calendar and Apple iCal right now.
Yep.
Throw it in there.
June 27th.
We'll be live as the Bruins pick 7th and see what they do.
And every time they re-sign a fucking schmo, we'll go live that night too. And then when Ryan Mougenel's the new coach, we'll do that too.
Oh, we're going live. when that happens. And you can bet your sweet ass we're going live when they re-sign restricted free agent Jonathan Beecher. We'll be live for that thing.
Yes. Hell yeah.
So, join us for all the funsies happening over the summer. We'll be all over it, all over all the hockey talk and non-hockey talk too.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks for being here. Go Bruins.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.